Rhonda Mullen asked on Twitter, what's the deal with alcohol? How much red wine should I get? And what about the sugar in the red wine? Very commonly asked question. Here's the deal. The major benefit of red wine is not because it's red wine, but because it has alcohol in it. 90% of the benefit is that the alcohol helps relax us, but it also makes us social. So when we have a drink with someone we care about, we talk about stuff. We're just sitting back for a few moments. If you're having red wine for breakfast, that's not good. If you're drinking it alone, that's not good either, unless it helps you meditate. So I really want to use it as a socializing tool. The deal with men and women, though, is that women have an enzyme in their stomach that doesn't work so well against alcohol. The guys have a great enzyme. It chews up the alcohol. And for that reason, they can drink twice as much as women can and only get the same amount of alcohol into their bloodstream. That's why men can get 2 glasses of red wine a day. Women can only get 1 glass of red wine. Now, there is a little bit of an extra benefit that it's red wine versus any other alcohol. And that benefit comes from the fact that the skin of the grape has chemicals in it, and so does the seed. And these different chemicals, pycnogenol from the seed, which is an antioxidant, but resveratrol, which is this really potent flavonoid from, and a bunch of other similar flavonoids that come from the skin of the grape, are important because they convey a message from the plant kingdom to the mammal kingdom. What they're basically saying is, hey, listen, it's tough out here. We're growing in a parched area of dirt. The grapes are struggling to survive, which is, by the way, how you make great wines. And those grapes, when they do survive in that arid environment, are saying that the hardship they're facing while they're growing should be a note, a message to the mammals that eat those grapes, so the mammals will live longer. Because, if we're living in a harsh environment and aren't getting enough food, we will naturally live longer. That's why being a little thin helps you live a little longer. So that's a cool message that the plants through resveratrol are telling the mammals. And now that you know that, you'll recognize why the dark colors that these fruits will often create to protect themselves from the sun are beneficial to us and our longevity. In particular, resveratrol has been very important to our scientists because it's helping us identify certain proteins in the cells that convey longevity to us. These SIRT proteins, SIRT proteins, are now becoming targets for drug creation that might help us actually live longer. But one of the best ways of doing it is to take resveratrol. And although we don't have any data at all in humans, and by the way, I don't support any companies, and if companies out there on the web saying Dr. Oz tells you to take resveratrol, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that it might be worth it for some people, and so I want you to be cautious if you even think about ordering these things, because a lot of these companies, unfortunately, have been running scams trying to take your money. But if you're going to take resveratrol, and I did get one question from Lynn P. on Twitter about the optimal dose. It's about 500 milligrams a day. What I usually do is I take these little pills when I decide to take resveratrol, which I do every once in a while. And we think that these in high doses, and this is the equivalent of about 100 bottles of wine of resveratrol, so it's a pretty high dose. But this might be actually telling my cells to live a little bit longer. Something to keep in mind. Got to stay up on it yourself, though. We'll tell you tons more about it. Stay in touch with us.